Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Turning Music into Money. I am your host, Double O. Today's show is called Submit Your Music to Quarry FM. Today, my guest is Mr. Adam Gear. But before we get into today's show, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Turning Music into Money. I am your host, Double O. Today's show is Submit Your Music to Quarry FM. But before we get into today's show, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Miss Ruby of LegacyA100.com for giving me the platform of Turning Music into Money. If you're looking for any of my previous shows can be found on LegacyA100.com, and that's where you can find all my Turning Music into Monies, and you can definitely figure out this music business game. But without Miss Ruby, none of this is possible, so I gratefully am appreciative of you. So thank you so much, Miss Ruby. Also, I would like for you guys to check out Miss Maureen Guest. Today is Thursday, so every Thursday she does a indie artist exposed at 4720 Jonesboro Road, Union City, Georgia. Definitely check her out. Independent artist. You can definitely really hone your performance skills. You can actually build relationships with DJs that work in clubs. So definitely get out there every Thursday, 4720 Jonesboro Road, Union City, Georgia. Definitely check her out. She also does a radio show on WIGO 1570 AM. If you're not in Atlanta, no problem at all. You can definitely go onto the TuneIn app, and you can actually find her on the TuneIn app anywhere you live, even if you don't live in the United States. So definitely submit to her show. Her show is every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And if you're interested in her show, it's at 6 o'clock to 7 p.m. Definitely check her out every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Also, if you're interested in getting your music onto Pandora Radio, contact me at turningmusicintomoney@gmail.com, and I will give you all the information you need to get started, to getting more streams, getting more notoriety, and becoming that household name that you want to become. So definitely check me out at turningmusicintomoney@gmail.com. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for my music, check me out on Pandora Radio under Double O. That is DOUBLEO. And also DUBBULLOH. My song just got selected to be on Quarry FM, and I am extremely excited. It has not went live yet, but in a couple of weeks it will. And when it does, I will tell you all about it. But right now, I'm just so grateful to be on Quarry FM, and it's a new streaming service, and I am desperately trying to find out exactly what it is, because it's another way us artists can get paid. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring on Mr. Adam Gear, the CEO of Quarry FM. Mr. Adam Gear, welcome to the show, my brother.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm great, man. How about yourself?
Good. What an intro. Thank you. That was lovely.
Yes, man. Yes, it is, brother. So, listen, man, Quarry FM, Mr. Adam Gear, you are the CEO. Am I correct?
That's right. That's my official title. I really don't do too much, though. I'm kind of like, I like the guys who develop the app. I want to be cool like them, but that's the official title.
Okay, I like that, man. Can I get a little bit more information on Mr. Adam Gear, man? Who are you? What made you want to even start Quarry FM, man?
Oh, wow. It's a big question, man. I'm a music lover. I grew up loving music. My dad was a big jazz head, so probably some of the first memories I have are listening to jazz music and my dad saying, "Hey, what instrument is this? Saxophone. What instrument is this? Trumpet." So from a very early age, I was just, really into music. Eventually I picked up the guitar, around middle school, where people start appreciating girls, all that type of stuff. I picked up the guitar, got into Nirvana, got my first CD, and the rest was history. But ever since that point, I've really been just, playing music, involved in music, really appreciative of independent music. Fast forward to today, I was fortunate enough to meet a couple of guys who could actually build an app. And we tossed around some ideas, and so Quarry was born. So we're really excited about it. It's a fun time for us. It's fun to do, but at the bottom of it is it's all about music. It's all about the love.
How long did it take the app to come into the world, man? How long was the process, man? Talk to me.
So, are you familiar with Bands in Town?
No, talk to me.
So Bands in Town is this app. Basically, if you like going to see live shows, that maybe like 10, 20 years ago, the Village Voice in New York, where I went to college, the Village Voice is where you would go to actually find where shows were playing.
Okay.
So, and it's like a physical newspaper. So you literally go to the physical newspaper, flip to like the back section where they have the venues, and be like, oh, he's playing. I like this band, like that band. So it all started because basically 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe there isn't an easier way to find music. And to find music that's around you, go see shows. Turns out Bands in Town had that idea, and they're very good at it. So we were like, oh, that idea's out.
Okay.
But we, after talking about it, still being really interested in music, we decided that independent music is very underrepresented in the streaming music industry. There's Spotify. There's a whole bunch of big companies that are out there promoting music for the top artists, but there wasn't really a streaming platform that was dedicated to the majority of music that's being played, right, in a day-to-day basis across the country. And not only that, but really good music. So we settled on that, and that's what we're doing.
So listen, you are a lawyer, correct?
That's right.
A criminal lawyer, because just for my audience to know, I met his brother over Instagram. I've never met your brother Walter in person. I've never met you in person. This is actually my first time talking to you. And this is I'm just trying to school my audience on networking skills, being able to take someone off the internet and to have them in person, or even have an interview with them. So you have to be able to work the internet, but you are a criminal lawyer that got into just a music lover, and you play the guitar. So you never went to school for music at all?
No, in college, though, I got an easy A because I took a music performance class every semester, and it was just a guitar teacher, and that's how I got my easy A going through college. So technically, I took classes in college that were music related, but it was really just me, learning from a really great teacher. But no music degree, man. I went to college for politics.
Whoa, very, very interesting, Adam. Yeah. Very interesting. Now, I want to get into why is it available only on iOS devices? Yes,
that's a good question.
Okay.
You want the honest answer?
Yes, sir.
The honest answer is that we're a small team.
Okay.
There's my brother Walt. There's Colin, who's the designer. There's Pavel, who's one of the developers. Max, who's a developer, and Drew, who's a developer. So we're a very small team. Even though the product, as you see, it's a really great-looking product. We're small, and to develop an iOS app at the same time as an Android app with a small team it's just not really feasible. So we decided to start with Apple, with an Apple product. There's some design stuff in iOS, which again, I'm not a techie, the developer, so I don't know too much about it. But iOS apps, a native app, what they call it, to iOS, looks different. It looks crisper. It looks nicer. You can have more. Oh, that's my pit bull.
Okay.
See, in South Philly, this is live. We're in South Philly. That's my dog, Sasha.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it's you can have greater creativity with the design. So that's why we went with iOS.
The look of it, I mean, it's phenomenal. I'm very impressed with the look of it because it looks official. That's it's not rinky-dink at all. It's top quality. Now my question is, how much of in competition are you with Pandora?
You know, I think we're in competition with Pandora because people use Pandora. And there's always, like, so my streaming service, my go-to streaming service is Spotify, outside of Quarry, it's Spotify. So we're in competition because they exist and because they provide a service that's similar to us. But if you want to go listen to independent music or music that's happening around you and find out about up-and-coming artists who you've never heard of, the next big thing, quote unquote, you're not going to go to Pandora for that. You're gonna, you're gonna come to Quarry for that. So that's what I think is the difference, and that's what we're trying to go after. Okay,
Quarry. Why the name Quarry?
Well, because when you have 5 partners, it's it's you can't agree on anything, and we settled on Quarry. It was actually Colin, the designer, because we were interested in this idea of digging for music, digging for what's out there, trying to, get dirty a bit. I think now Quarry actually does some of the work for you. Now we feature artists, we show you quote unquote gemmed artists, people who we think are, up and coming and really hitting their stride. But we like that visual of really digging for music, getting in there, music discovery. That's ultimately what we're all about.
Perfect. Now, this is an interactive show. Any of my guests that's tuned in, please feel free to ask questions. Do not be shy about this. This is an interactive show. So thanks all my guests right now for tuning in. I know it's a late night Thursday, but we come on whenever we feel like it. But anyway, let's get back to this interview, man, because I'm extremely intrigued about this here. So let me ask you, man, what is the main difference between Quarry and any other streaming service? Like, what sets it apart? Because I know that you guys have a system to how music is accepted, and I want to get a little bit into that as well, if we can. But what makes Quarry different? Like, what's the difference? Why should I want to be there as an artist?
The fundamental difference. So if you're an independent artist, then I think your only real option should be Quarry. It's nice to get on Spotify, which you can do. I think you actually have to pay if you're an artist to get on Spotify.
Yeah, anybody and their mama can get on Spotify.
Right, and that's not the case with us. But I think the fundamental difference between our streaming service and the other majors, the other major streaming services, is that they cater to your Beyoncés, your Jay-Z's, your big artists, your Foo Fighters. If you are trying to compete with them, then that might be a platform that's for you. But if you want your voice to be heard, if you want to have a platform that, by the very nature of it, right? So we won't allow major signed artists onto the platform. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is we don't care about them. We're caring about the next Chance the Rapper. We care about the next Kurt Vile. That's who we care about. We care about fostering and nurturing and giving a voice to those artists who break. And when they break, go to Spotify. But we felt that this was a necessary stage to build, and we're happy we did it.
So let me ask you, will the app be going to Android in the near future?
Good question. Yeah, we're going to get there. We have a lot of fun, we feel innovative things that are coming that we're going to build. And, for obvious reasons, I don't want to go too much into that. But I will say that we want to do some things first with the iOS app. We want to get it out there. We want to generate a buzz for ourselves when we get there. And then, clearly it's a huge market, the Android market. We will get there. It's going to take a bit of time. We need to add more members to the team, but we want to flush out. We want to create and really build our core product first.
Will switching to Android change the look of things?
No, it shouldn't. There are a lot of, thankfully, because so many people are crossover now, a lot of people using Android, a lot of people using iOS, there are programs that you can write in to make it look the same. So it should look the same when we get to Android.
Because I am thoroughly impressed with the look of it, man. It looks phenomenal.
Thank you.
I'm very happy with the look, man. I'm proud to be a Quarry artist, man. Very proud.
See, Colin, our designer, he's gonna love you for saying this.
Yeah, man. It's real. It's real. It gives you. It's so much. Like immediately, as soon as you see it, it gives you notoriety. It's just like, what is this? It makes you question, like, whoa, what is this? It's something tangible, even though it's not. It's just, it feels like, it feels real. It's just like when you hear real music, you can feel it and hear it, and that's how it is when you see a real visual. That it's like it sells the whole product, man. So I am definitely a believer. I'm definitely a believer.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, yes, and that's part of why we wanted to do this, because there are services out there, right? We're not the first service that's been dedicated to independent music, but I think we're the first service that looks legit. I think it's the first service that's taken, that's sort of taken a priority to build something that looks nice, that works well. So we wanted to do that. We think it's fair to do that because, it's like I said, going back to the imagery of Quarry, it being sort of a mine. This is a mine, and we're going to find some gems. A year or two from now, you're going to hear that this artist was found on Quarry. You're going to hear that this artist developed, through their network on Quarry. And those are the gems we're trying to find.
Perfect. I have a question from Angel. She says, is there a certain criteria that music submissions must meet in order to be added to Quarry?
Very good question. And I think you asked that too. Yes, there is. Now, truthfully, I would want, in a perfect world, there to be the ability for any artist to be on Quarry, because who am I to say what I think is good or what is bad? So in a perfect world, and there are things that you can do, there are like filters, there are preferences, there are things that we as a company could do to make the user experience, a listener, make them like what they're hearing more. If there's someone from left field, some type of new electronica music being put out. Now, though, we do curate all of the music. We, as in literally the team and our close friends, we listen to artists one by one. We try not to be too discriminating, truthfully, because again, the reality of it is these are independent artists who are working hard. But there is a minimum, and that minimum is, if my ears are like bleeding and I think it's gonna, you know what I mean? One of those things. But again, who are we to really judge? We're just appreciative to have people who are interested in us and who want to use us. Perfect.
So talk to me about the curation process. Is it a long process? Is it, is it mathematical? Like, what is it?
Yeah. So in terms of how we find artists and put artists on.
Well, just in terms of how you, I guess, judge the music. Like if my stuff is Quarry quality.
Right. Again, the short answer is that and why I love this so much, by the way, is because we're so small that we're able to do this literally by ourselves. So our team, and I might have mentioned this to you before on another channel, but I love all types of music, but I'm primarily, if like you were to say I'm steeped in one type of music, it's probably the more rock, jazz, that kind of stuff. Max Felker, who's a member of our team, he is really steeped in the hip hop scene, as is my brother. There's another guy, Colin McNamara, who's into a different type of music. He's on our team. So collectively, we communicate every single day. If you were to submit your music to Quarry Music, you would get an email. Basically, an email would come from my brother to all of us. We would look at the music, we'd review the music, listen to it, and have a conversation about it.
So how can they submit right now if they wanted to?
Exactly. Wait, say that again?
I was saying, how can they submit like right now if they wanted to submit?
Got it. Yeah, I missed that. Thank you. You can go to Quarry, which is QUARRY.FM. And if you scroll up, you'll see a submit your music button. And once you fill that format, it'll come right to us.
Perfect. So, How many artists do you guys have on the roster currently?
We're approaching 200, and it's getting very quickly. Now, we weren't aggressively going after artists because we just launched a week ago. We had about 120 artists that had joined up as sort of beta or test users. And it really wasn't until we launched that we started basically putting ourselves out there. The response has been really great so far. We're getting a lot of really good music. You'll see in the next week and a half that we're going to start adding that music. Having different featured artists. You're going to be on there, which we're very excited about. Okay, I'm super excited about that.
Me too.
Double O.
My dog.
So it's going to be a fun time for us. I know it's going to be a fun time for me to see this new music bubbling up and checking it out and listening to it and seeing what we like.
Perfect. I have another question from Julie. She says, "How are you finding the music?"
Yeah, that's a good question. Now the music is coming to us. We're fortunate enough, even after a week, that people are now reaching out to us. So before, when we were doing our beta, test users, it was different because we weren't on the radar. We were flying sort of undercover. We didn't want people to kind of know who we are. We're testing, right? So before, we were going to Facebook pages. We're using IG a lot, doing hashtag searches for independent music, seeing which artists were out there. And then if we liked them, we would just, basically send them an email and say, do you want to be a beta user, a test user for our app? So that's how we got the majority of artists now, or rather initially. Now, though, we're just kind of sitting back and we're seeing what's coming, we're seeing what's coming to us.
Let me ask you, how are you finding the fans?
The fans, that's basically word of mouth. That's word of mouth. Like if you, and a lot of it has to do with our artists too. So let's say that you get your single up there, which is going to happen within the next week, right? Mm-hmm. You put your new single out there. You have a social media account. You're going to go to your social media account, hopefully, and say, here's, link to this new song that just dropped. Hopefully some of those people will download the app, check out the song, and then they'll see the other great stuff on there. So we're really, our approach right now, because we're such a small team, and because we feel like we built a great product, is just to let it speak for itself. It's only been a week. The response has been good. We feel like this is going to snowball. We feel like when people, especially when they start to see some of the newer features, when they start to hear the music and, make the connection that there is some great independent music happening a couple blocks down, or for that matter, there's a scene in Georgia, where you're at, which I know nothing about, right? I know nothing about the Georgia independent music scene, but I can tell you that Quarry is gonna allow me to find out about the music scene in Georgia, and that's really what's so exciting about it. And same thing for Seattle. What's the rock scene happening in Seattle? What's the rap scene happening in Seattle? What's happening in Boise, Idaho? There's stuff happening there, and there's really good stuff happening there, and we feel like we're going to bring it, to the forefront.
I have another question from Angel. She says, "Can I create custom playlists?"
Angel, come with the tough question.
Yeah, man.
Custom, yes, kind of. So what we do is, if you download the app, you'll see that there's a tab on the bottom, right, on where you kind of navigate. There's a tab for a gem. It's a picture of a gem, which is our icon, the Quarry gem. So if every time you gem a song in the app or you like a song, it's our equivalent of a like. So if you like, my band is on there. If you like that song and you gem it, and then you see Double O's track and you gem it, it creates a playlist that you can go to under that gemmed tab. So every time you go to that gemmed tab, it'll have a list of your favorite songs that you'll be able to play. We're going to be doing some interesting, fun things with that feature, but it's a very basic playlist of essentially your favorite songs.
Perfect. Mr. Jason Kelly asks, what about for producers? Like, I guess... let's just say I just make tracks. Is there any way that I can put my tracks on there to just kind of showcase anything like that?
Yeah, if you're a producer, you absolutely can do that. Now, Where it gets tricky, right, is when people start cutting up. Let's say Beyonce has a track. If you're cutting up Beyonce's track and it's recognizable, we might have some copyright issues. But if you're producing stuff, and we have plenty of producers on the app, there's actually, and man, I wish I could remember where these guys are out of, but it's out of somewhere that it's not typical. I think it's in North Dakota, but there's a couple of producers who are on the app right now, and I apologize to them for forgetting their name. But it'll just be almost like straight beats, and that to me is cool to listen to. Like, I like to listen to like a really nice produced beat. So there are producers on the app, and we certainly want to encourage them to put their stuff out there. Because again, like you said before, this is all about connections. And if someone sees that there's someone who's producing, who calls himself a producer, making making beats that they like, then maybe one of our artists is going to make a connection and start using them.
Perfect. This live right here, it already has the link, Quarry FM to go to, and you can just click the link and just go start submitting your music at any time. It's 24 hours, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. I have another couple of questions from Julie. She asks, is this a subscription-based app?
No, it's not a subscription-based app. This is totally free right now for everyone. And I see Julie's next really tough question. She's not tossing softballs tonight. It's totally free. We bootstrapped or we built this thing entirely on our own, blood, sweat, and tears. And we, fortunately, because we're new, right, and because we've learned from the mistakes of your Bandcamps, of your SoundClouds, we have some really great ideas. This is getting to our next question of how we're going to compensate our artists. So currently, right now, because we're so young, this is just exposure to our artists. And my pitch to that is, again, we've built this for independent artists. If you want to put your stuff out on Spotify or Apple Music, I think you absolutely should anyways, but there's no real way to discover your music. You're not on the same, at this point, playing ground just because Spotify has no interest in promoting you on their sort of search or homepage. They don't. They have an interest in promoting the major artists. The difference with us is when you go to our app and you go to the checkout section or the spotlight section, you're going to be there. There are going to be artists who we feature there because we want to push y'all up into that next stratosphere. So my pitch at this point is bear with us. Hang in there. I think it's going to be worthwhile because obviously this is something we want to do. This is something we're dedicated to doing. And we want to shake up the music industry. We want to disrupt it in the same way that Uber disrupted the taxi industry. We want to disrupt it in the same way that Airbnb disrupted the housing market. We want to disrupt music and give power back. But, for us, it's going to take a bit to get there. But again, hang out. We got fun stuff planned.
Perfect. Jason Kelly says, thank you for the producer side of things. He's very appreciative of that. And you're welcome, Jason, man. I'm thankful for it too, man. Not a lot of streaming services showcase producers as well. So I'm gratefully thankful for that as well. But before we end this segment, because we're gonna have to go to part 2 on this one, man, because you're full of knowledge, man. And I got a bunch more questions to go, and you probably have some stuff that you want to say on your own as well. But I would like for you to just give me a navigation. Like, if I'm a fan, how do I find my people? Just give me how to navigate through Quarry. How to, just from downloading the app to the whole process.
Right. So if you have a if you have a band in mind, like if you know about O and you want to go see O, then you should just go in and search for O, and you will find whatever music he's put up there, his bio, his location, other things like that. We have a genre filter, of course. That's the way that I like to find music on the app. So you go to the main page. When you open it up, all right, first time you open the app, it's going to have that beautiful image of a random artist. again, one of the things I really like about Quarry is our dedication to all genres. So that mainstream, by default, when you open up the app, you're going to get a feed of any type of genre that you can imagine. So it might be a hip hop song next to a jazz song, next to a rock song, next to a metal song, because we feel like that's how people are consuming music these days. It's all jumbled up. And it's, that jumbling up of music is leading to the creation of other types of genres that we've never heard of. So, I say that because that's really cool. I like that we do the all genres. But if you just want to discover the best hip hop music that's on the independent scene, then by all means check that hip hop genre, and you'll get a feed of these artists, and you can go in and gem them and like them. Now, what's really cool about the new version of the app is on the search tab. So on the bottom, if you hit the search tab, it's going to take you to a screen where we, as Quarry, have curated featured artists. So these are people who we think, we want to put on your radar because we really like them a lot. That's up at the top. And then below that is the checkout artist section, which is basically all the newest artists who've gotten into the app. They're going to be there in basically the date that they signed up. So if you want to see the newest content to Quarry, you're going to go to that search tab, which I think is awesome. And it's a great place to start to discover some of the music, some of the newest music too on the app.
Perfect. Man, I have a ton of questions for you. Julie has another question I have to ask in this next segment. And then also, right now, a quick question. How much money would you say you have spent on this app?
Tough to say. It's really more time. Our team is a world-class team, and I mean that. And don't take my word for it. Look at the app. It's a great app.
It is.
So I don't know how much their time has been worth, but it's probably a lot of money. But in terms of us actually coming out of pocket, we've had some expenses, but we're doing okay on doing this ourselves.
So it's a team effort, so the finances can be pulled together to build the app, correct?
It's ultimately my card that pays for everything. So you know what I'm saying? If the team is watching, they should probably send me like a check or two so I can my wife will be happy with me. But we pool the resources. That's what we try and do.
Perfect, man. I love that concept. I definitely love that concept. So what we're going to have to do, man, is wrap this show up. What we're going to do is actually, for the video part, we're just going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll start the second show. For the audio side of things, you've got to tune in next week, and then you'll get to hear part 2. But this has been Turning Music into Money with Double O. How to submit your music to Quarry FM. So tune in next week for my show. And if you're watching on the visual, definitely just chill out with me for 1 more minute, and we'll start the second show. See you next week. If y'all got any questions, man, feel free to ask them. We're going to crank up this next show in about 60 seconds or so. Give me a drink break. How you feeling over there, my man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Got my water. Staying hydrated.
That's good. Do you have a guitar?
I do have it within arm's reach, always.
I love it, man. I love it. We're going to crank it up in 1 second here.
I'm going to check the Eagles score real quick.
No problem. Do your thing, man. I'm getting ready to start this show, though. Here we go.
All right, we're winning 18-10.
Perfect.
Eagles are winning.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your main man Double O, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Turning Music into Money. I am your host, Double O. Today's show is called... Start it again. My bad. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your main man Double O. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Turning Music into Money. Today's show is called Submit Your Music to Quarry FM, and today my guest is Adam Gear. But before we get into today's show, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Miss Ruby of LegacyA100.com for giving me, your main man Double O, the platform of my show, Turning Music into Money. Without Miss Ruby, this show is not possible. Never forget that. She seen something in me that I did not see in myself. I'm just an artist. She said, no, you're a radio host as well. And that's what I became, a radio host. And I'm gratefully appreciative of you, Ms. Ruby. Thank you so much. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Ms. Maureen Guest of 1570 AM. She does a Indie Artist Expose every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. at 4720 Jonesboro Road, Union City, Georgia. Check out Indie Artists if you're looking to network, build your portfolio, perform what you need to do, and also get to know some DJs so you can get some more spins around the city of the ATL. Definitely check her out at 4720 Jonesboro Road, Union City, Georgia. If you're interested in getting your music spun on radio, on AM radio, definitely holler at her. She does a show on WIGO 1570 AM, and she can be found on the TuneIn app. Just type in WIGO under the TuneIn app, 1570 AM, and check her out every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., and she will let you know how to submit your music. Also, artists, if you're interested in getting your music on Pandora Radio, please feel free to reach out to me at turningmusicintomoney@gmail.com. I will give you all the information you will need to get started. Also, if you're looking for my music, check me out on Pandora Radio on the Double O. I currently have about 29 songs on there between two different artists. My name is spelled two different ways. DOUBLEO, which has about 23 songs on it, 24, 25, I'm not counting. And also DUBBULLOH, who has a measly 3 songs on there. I have to get my weight up on the Double O. I started this radio show, and now I don't have time to do music. What's that about? But don't worry about it. Don't worry. I got plenty more music coming. Anyway, check me out on the Pandora, and I'm there. But without any further ado, let's get back to the main course. Mr. Adam Gear is here with us from QuarryMusic.com, and we are grateful to have you, sir. Welcome to the show again, part 2.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. We got to get right into it, man. Julie asked a question, and it says we got to get right to it. As an artist, will I be able to see my fan base on Quarry FM?
As in, I think if she's saying, like, will you be able to see? That's actually a good question. That's a good question. I don't think you'll be able to, so at this point, see like followers or anything. That might be what she's asking. Like, can you see who your followers are? The answer to that question is no. We realize that social is really important and making connections is very important for artists, but in its current state, you will not be able to basically see who your fan base is. The analytics, which is really important for artists, I know. So in other words, how many plays did you get? Where are these plays coming from? These kinds of things. These are all very important facts that artists sort of rely on to see what they're liking. Our version of that now is the gem in sort of its base form. So if you have a track that's been liked or gemmed, more than your other tracks, those are the analytics we're providing. But that's a really good point. Along those lines, if she's still tuning in and if she's still trying to figure out the hardest questions possible to ask me, then what I tell her is my question to the people who are using the app is, if we could build something, right, that you were compelled to just go out and tell all your friends about because it was that dope. Like if we could design something that you would just have a need to like yell it from the hills, like, check this thing out. What would that be? We feel like we can learn a lot from that question, and that's probably an example of that. Is that ability to see who your users are, because you get that social validation as an artist. You see, all right, there are these people out there who like what I'm doing. But now, to answer her question, that's through the gem. So we hope people get a lot of gem counts so that they can see which music is being liked.
Perfect. So they can see their gem count.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
But it doesn't tell who the listener was.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
perfect.
Right.
Now, Angel asking the question now, man, because it seems like the lady really is all about Quarry. And I love it, man. You got a strong women fan base, man. That's incredible, man. That's incredible. She asked, are you looking to secure any advertising for Quarry?
Yeah. If you're in the music streaming business, then you have to consider advertising at some point as an option to make income. Do people like advertising? No. Is it something that we probably are going to have to do at some point in the future, to pay some bills? Maybe. Do we want to be smart and creative about it? Yes. A lot of these streaming services that are out there right now are getting around that by the subscription service. So if you're on Spotify or something like that, or Pandora, you'll get ads if it's free. If you pay whatever they're asking you to pay per month, then you won't get those ads. So there's a lot of different ways we can approach that. But now we don't want to do that. We're not interested in advertising right now. We're interested in music, and we're interested in seeing what we get on this thing and the type of response we get to this thing. That'll be a good bridge to cross, eventually, hopefully. But right now, no, we're not doing any type of advertising.
Perfect. Julie says she needs to know the demographics of the people that like her music.
So she wants to know the demographics, like the where they come from, who they are, those kind of things.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because that is stuff, if we're talking about, and I know the name of your show, right, is Turning
Music into Money.
And that's an important thing for advertisers. So advertisers want to know who's using the app. They want to know their demographics, basically, and so that they can figure out who might like a certain type of music or something to market that product to someone. So demographics is vitally important. Now, we don't take any demographics from our users right now, so we're not asking you to say your sex, whether you're male or female, any of that stuff. There are, though, companies that do that. Facebook, IG, they do that when you set up your profile, or at least they know that because of your profile. They can see your profile. So, you'll see that one of the options to log in to Quarry is through Facebook. Basically, Quarry has and IG has everyone's information. So if you do log into the app, we don't share anything with them, but they probably have their information anyways. But that's another good point.
Perfect. I really want to know this answer right now.
Yes.
Is Quarry a song by song basis, or if I submit my whole album and you like one song, is my whole album into the catalog now?
Yeah, if we like your music, then we're going to put your entire catalog on there. Again, you all are doing us a service, by trusting us, with your product and with your blood, sweat, and tears. So to answer your question, no, we're not. If you become a Quarry artist, you'll have the ability to have your entire catalog seen, so people can see what you're all about.
So if they submitted an album, you can just submit that one song, and you guys will accept the rest of the album without hearing it?
Yeah, you have to submit every song through us, so we get every song. So we, by the very nature of that process, could listen to every single song.
Okay.
But the reality of it is, we realize that artists these days aren't necessarily pigeonholed into just one type of sound, one type of genre. So you might be producing things that sound wildly different. If you go to Kendrick Lamar's albums, for instance, some of them sound as hard as you're going to sound in terms of hip hop, and then some of them have some of the hardest rock guitar tracks you're going to find out there. So, if we trust your musical sound on a track or two, then we're going to trust your vision. We don't want to get involved in that.
Perfect. Now, I'm interested on how artists are promoted through the site. Now, I want to know, are you going to, I guess, create a budget for that as far as we're going to promote this? Because I remember talking to Walt, and he said next week, this was like a couple of weeks ago, he said next week is the soft launch. So it must be a heavy promotion coming soon, I would guess.
In terms of promoting the app itself?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We did this launch about a week ago, and we're really, really happy with how it's turned out. There's a few kinks behind the curtain that we're working out. When we work out those kinks, then you're going to see a lot of great stuff coming, from the promotion. Because again, we don't succeed unless we have really great talent on the app and people who are interested in using it. That's exactly when we succeed. And we have a part to play in that. Our promise to our users is that we're going to do whatever we can to promote them in that way. So yeah, we're gonna do that. There's some viral stuff that we're thinking about. There's a bunch of different tacks we can take on it. But all that being said, I do think that there's something to this image of we're different. I think we're hipper. I think we're right with our approach to independent music in terms of it being all-inclusive to all genres and really trying to just focus on independent artists. So I think with time, this thing is going to snowball and people are really going to like it a lot. Perfect.
What genres do you accept? Are you accepting spoken word artists?
Sure. If we believe that that's music, or if there's something musical to that, and you believe that you are a music artist, then absolutely. And a good example of that, topical example, would be this latest, the Eminem cipher, because there's no music to that. It could have been perceived as spoken word almost, but clearly there's a musical element to that. So again, we are interested in emerging artists. We're interested in all artists.
So that brings the question to my mind, does your music even have to be for sale to be on Quarry FM?
No.
It doesn't?
No, for sale? No, it does not have to be for sale to be on Quarry. Our music, my personal band, is not for sale on Quarry. It's really about, for us, because there might be someone who's not interested in selling their music. There might be someone who's interested in producing their stuff, getting it out there, seeing what it's like, or using it for what I think people are going to use it for, which is a great promotional tool, something that looks cool, that they'll be able to share easily, and that'll work in attracting audiences to them. So to answer your question, no.
So this is a better alternative to SoundCloud, sound like to me, because eventually it'll turn into streaming revenue for artists.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. Thanks for making that point.
I like that because I can't stand SoundCloud. I took all my stuff off of SoundCloud, man. It had to go.
Why don't you like SoundCloud?
Well, SoundCloud doesn't do anything for you. They don't plan on doing anything for you. They have no plans on helping you.
Right. In terms of promoting you.
Correct. I mean, I can put my music on YouTube and get a couple of cents. And not even on SoundCloud, I can't even do that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But my thing is, I like the fact that Quarry is an upstart. The look of it, I cannot express how much I love the look of it, because it's official. It's official. I love the commercials that you guys shot. I mean, the look of it, the marketing part of it, and the look of it is, you can tell it's been very, very well thought out and very well planned.
I
And
appreciate
I
that.
like the exclusivity of it, and you guys should keep the exclusivity of it because that is what's going to make it go to the top. So I take
Okay,
it as since there's no advertising, there's no commercials. It's commercial free, correct?
that's right. Yep, that's absolutely right. Yeah,
Oh man, that's a great selling point because they don't want to hear commercials. They want to hear the music.
right.
They want to hear the music. Um,
Yeah.
what is the 5 year goal for Quarry?
Well, it would be really, so the 5 year goal for me
Hmm.
would be to have a large, to have kept it real, first of all, in terms of um, the focus on independent artists, where I think it should be.
Hmm.
Um, for me, it would be great success if within 5 years we had several artists, several, who were mainstream, big draw, Grammy winning artists only because we gave them the opportunity to succeed and to have a place where they could be easily discovered and appreciated. And the third thing would be to be compensating the artists from top to bottom in a meaningful way and in a creative way and in a fair way. So those would be the sort of the three big success story things for me at the end of 5 years.
Does Quarry FM do you guys help find shows for artists? Do you help find platforms that we can help continue to build our fan base?
So this is a difficult question to answer because, as I said before, there's some really interesting things that we want to do. I am basically not at liberty to speak about those things because we feel like they're so cool and novel. Um, no, the short answer is no.
Hmm.
Our app does not do that yet, or doesn't do something similar to that yet. But in the very near future, I think there are going to be some things that are going to be available to our artists where they're going to see the value in this thing promoting them.
Okay, okay. Well, I have a question from Angel, but you've answered that one part already that she asked.
Mhm.
But she asked another interesting question about fans interacting with each other that have similar music tastes. You guys plan on
Yeah,
going in that direction?
great. That's a great question, and we feel like sharing music. Well, actually, there's a study that my brother found, some like music study, or whatever, that
Hmm.
basically a large amount of people get their music from recommendations from other friends of theirs.
Hmm.
So currently on the app, and this is something that's kind of like a secret, we need to let people know more about how this works. If you press and hold on an image or song within our app, if users were to do that now, you have the ability to share that through any means you can think of.
Hmm.
And so if you're listening, you see you on the app, and I really like you, I might share you then with my friends or friends who might like that song. So we feel this social aspect of being able to share music really easily, right, just by pressing and holding and sharing, is something really cool. And eventually that'll be playlists and other things.
I love it. I love it. What are you asking from all artists to do? Like a minimum requirement once they are a Quarry artist?
Nothing. I mean, really, really nothing. Like, it would be great if people talked about us. It would be great if people shared us. But really, the act alone of putting your music on our app and taking a risk with us is enough for me. And anything else really is just a cherry on top. So, the answer is nothing. Like, enjoy the other music on the app, and we hope to bring lots of users to you.
Really, I mean, this promotion must be of the app must be a full-fledged push in order for you not to ask, I guess, the artist to do anything.
Yeah, and I don't think we're ever gonna ask the artist to do it. Like, if we're never gonna ask the artist to pay for this
Hmm.
service. We're never gonna
Hmm.
ask the artist to do promotion unless like we ask them because we feel like you we might ask. We might say, you know, Double O, we really like you a lot. Would you mind shooting this video, like the video we did for our other artists, right?
Yeah.
But we're never really going to ask our artists to do anything. We're trying to do stuff for our artists. It's kind of the other way around. And I think if we stay true to that perspective, then we'll be lucky.
I love it. I love it. Like I said, you guys had me. I love it. Is there anything that I did not cover or you did not cover that you want to get to the public? Make sure that the public knows, because I'm definitely a believer in Quarry, man. You have my full salute on it. You have my full
appreciate that
endorsement.
That means a lot, man. That means we might have to do a promo with that then.
We got to, man.
Now I'm asking you to do something.
There you go.
No, I would really want people to know that we are we're working on some really cool things. And again, there's not much that I can really say just because, we're a small company. We kind of got a target on our back. But stay tuned because there's going to be some cool stuff coming soon, and there's going to be some great music we're adding. So, I just appreciate the opportunity to come and to meet you through this interview and to talk and to answer some nice questions.
Yeah, Adam, you've been great, man. I got another question I have to ask. Ms. Angel asks, can artists share like any show dates or appearances currently on the app, the way it's designed?
Yes, stay tuned. No, not currently. Stay tuned.
Perfect. Now, how can they download the app? Like, explain who is it for, who can download the app because they need to get to it now.
Right. Yeah. If you have an iPhone, because it's only iOS, then you can go to the App Store, search for Quarry Music, Quarry Music, or go to our website, quarry.fm, and download the app. Check it out. There's a contact button there too. That contact goes right to our team. So if you have any feedback, we'd love to hear it because we're building this thing for our community.
Perfect. So Quarry FM is just like the landing page for the artists to submit their music?
Right. It's the webpage, and it leads them to where you can download the app and sort of upload your music if you're an artist. Perfect.
Adam, you have been a pleasure, my man. I just want to make sure that I got everything out that you wanted to get covered, man, because it's a pleasure to be a Quarry artist, man. And anything you guys ask, man, I'm definitely down. If you need me anywhere, I'm there. If you need anything from me, man, don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate to ask, man, because I definitely want to see this go to the top. Yes, sir.
We're fam now, man. We're in it.
Yes, sir. I can dig that, man. I can definitely dig that, man. So, listen, this has been Turning Music into Money. I am your host, Double O, and I thank you. And I thank you so much for tuning into the show and enjoying and learning. And go support Quarry FM. Go get the Quarry Music app. iOS users right now. Go get it on your phones right now, on your computers. Go get it right now. This has been Turning Music into Money. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Cheers.